Hi everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we're diving into News Corporation's latest report. It's a bit like watching a media mogul report their own story, so expect some spin, while we try to get to the bottom line. Speaking of bottom lines, before we start, if you appreciate getting straight insights from corporate documents, make sure you're subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below where we discuss these filings in real time. This report is about how News Corp, the media giant, is buying back its own stock. Basically using company money to purchase shares of its own company. The details give us a peek into their plans and financial health, which is what we all care about. They have been authorized to spend up to $1 billion on this. So let's see what's happening there. First off, this report is called an 8K, which is like an update the company has to give the Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, when something important happens. The filing date is July 3, 2025. The company's talking about its own stock repurchase program. This program allows News Corp to buy back up to $1 billion of their own Class A and Class B common stock. It's like the company is investing in itself. Not a bad thing, typically. Now here's a twist, because News Corp is also listed on the Australian Securities Exchange, or ASX. They have to tell the ASX about these buybacks daily. This report includes copies of those daily updates provided to the ASX. The report refers them as Exhibit 99.1 and Exhibit 99.2. News Corp is also playing it safe by pointing out that some of what they're saying are forward-looking statements. That means they're talking about what they expect to happen in the future and that things might change. They warn us that actual results could be different. That is important because they might be saying one thing with a completely different goal in mind. I wonder what it could be. Here's the nitty-gritty, the exhibits. I'd scroll through those, but they aren't included here, so we can't look at specific purchase amounts. The report was signed off by Michael L. Bunda, Senior Vice President, Deputy General Counsel and Corporate Secretary. Now, let's step back and see what all this means. A stock repurchase or buyback can be a good thing for investors. When a company buys back its own shares, there are fewer shares available on the market. If nothing else changes, that can push the stock price up, because each share is now worth a slightly larger piece of the company. It can also signal that the company thinks its stock is undervalued, that it's worth more than the current price. So why would a company do this? Well, it can be a way to return value to shareholders. Instead of paying out a dividend, which is a direct payment to shareholders, they buy back stock. It can also be a way to boost earnings per share. That's because earnings are now divided by a smaller number of shares. But stock buybacks aren't always viewed positively. Some people think that companies should be investing that money in growing the business, developing new products, or increasing salaries of employees. Instead, they might be just trying to artificially inflate the stock price. It is very tricky to understand what is the goal. And also, remember that statement about forward-looking is important. News Corp is basically saying, we plan to buy back stock, but a bunch of factors could change our minds. Those factors could include the stock price, general market conditions, and even changes in the law. Because, hey, laws can change. So what's the takeaway here? News Corp is using its cash to buy its own stock. It might be a good move for shareholders, or it might be a way to avoid investing in future expansion. Or it could be a bit of both. The real impact will depend on execution and unforeseen market change. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Did you find this Corporate Decoder episode insightful? Hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe for more breakdowns of corporate filings. Also, come join us in our Discord channel. Until next time, stay informed and keep decoding.